Welcome to another Small Cap Power discussion. I'm your host, Jim Gordon. We're on location filming at the Fairmont Pacific Rim in downtown Vancouver in cooperation with the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, which, if you can see out the window, is taking place just across the street at the Convention Center. Joining me is Christopher Wensley, the CEO of Crestview Exploration. Christopher, welcome back.
Thanks, Jim. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. We talked, I think, November of last year. You were seconds into the new gig.
That's right.
But we had a great interview, but now I'm excited to have you back because we're going to talk about what's been going on, your first 5-6 months, and with the company. Let's start with a little bit of information on Crestview Exploration.
Sure. I mean, we're still a public company listed on the CSE. We have 20 million shares issued and outstanding. We have 3 properties in the Tuscarora Mountain region of north central Nevada, and we have a property down near Tonopah, Nevada called Cimarron, our Cimarron prospect. Since I last spoke with you in November, a lot of time has been spent getting up to speed and being current with all of the developments, service contracts, agreements, the situation in detail with the company and all its properties. The primary activity has been designing our exploration program for 2022. And what we've been able to do is finalize, fine-tune our exploration program for 2022 that will mostly be conducted at Rock Creek and Divide. We have solicited for geophysical quotes and for drilling quotes, and we received bids for those contracts and that work, and we're getting ready to finalize our scheduling.
Let's talk about those projects more specifically. Rock Creek and Divide, as you mentioned, are only a couple kilometers apart. Can you talk more specifics about first Rock Creek?
Well, Rock Creek is 74 claims, a property that was brought into the company initially as a flagship asset. It remains so today. It came with a host of information, historic data, previously work surveys, MMI, SGH, identified gold arsenic anomaly. The prospect really is shallow epithermal type gold mineralization along with deeper Carlin type mineralization. So that's what we're on the hunt for at Rock Creek. Now, I mean, the next question is why Rock Creek and why this location? And when we talk about the area that we're in, then it becomes really, really compelling, not just based on the information that we have, which is extremely encouraging, but where the property is. We're in the Tuscarora Mountains. We're just literally 30 kilometers off of the Carlin Trend, which lies to the west of us, where there is some prominent discovery and production. And then to the south of us, directly 40 kilometers south, are some pretty major Carlin type mines in the Carlin Trend. But then off trend and in the opposite direction to the east of us, about 18 miles, is the Jarrett Canyon property, which is a very significant Carlin deposit that has already produced 9.7 million ounces. And then we look closer into our area and we start to see in Tuscarora, where we have a property literally 2 kilometers from a neighboring company, and 8 miles from Rock Creek. American Pacific Mining has been drilling, and they just announced completion of 13 out of 70 holes, where they had actually recovered samples, soils and samples, chip samples as high as 21,000 grams per ton of gold, plus 38,000 grams per ton of silver, and then within 3.9 kilometers approximately from our property, 2,850 grams per ton. So these are the samples, and so they're chasing those veins, and their exploration model is pretty much identical to what our model is for our other property, Castile, and it's very similar to the shallow we're targeting at Rock Creek.
Okay. Let's talk about, obviously the last couple of years have been challenging, I should say. We talked about this last November when you were just new to the job. I like to think we're getting through all this, but let's talk about going forward now. What are other plans for you guys in the rest of 2022 and 2023?
Our plans for 2022 include CSAMT geophysical survey over Rock Creek and possibly our Castile property to the south. That information will be used at Rock Creek to review and make sure that we've optimized our drill locations for the summer, late summer of this year. You know, weather prevents getting on the property at that altitude until probably reasonably the end of June, sometime in July.
Right.
So our schedule is to set up shop there and start drilling at the end of July, very beginning of August. That program will likely take, call it 6 weeks or so, so we'll be into mid-September. Assays or cores and samples will be sent to the labs for assaying, which is running about 3 to 4 months right now, so we would not be receiving that information on the results probably until the very new year. So what do we do in the meantime? Well, we have the Cimarron project that we do want to get back to, and we hope to follow up with further work and drilling in the fall of this year as well. So that's a plan that, or a program that we're planning out. We have not yet committed to it. We need to get first things first, and that's the work that we have to achieve and get completed at Rock Creek.
It's great to talk to you again, 5 months now into your new gig. It's Christopher Wensley, he's the CEO of Crestview Exploration. Christopher, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jim.
And thank you for watching this Small Cap Power discussion. You can check out smallcappower.com and past videos on our YouTube channel, thanks to the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference and the folks here at the Pacific Rim Fairmont Hotel, where we've been filming throughout the day. See you next time.